Listen, guys, keep whining, keep never mind, bro. Like we have to we've got to stop using this Jeremy Meeks intro. It's fucking overused to death. Just say something else. Just say something else.
Like cat
So, guys, today we have a lot to discuss
passion
today.
all like
Yeah, never mind, never mind.
yeah, we
Fuck that
got
shit. Fuck that shit. Just let's just get started, anyways. Like this has to be done with real quick, right? We have a lot to discuss today. So, first of all, I'd like to discuss this post. So, if you aren't living under a rock and if you are part of the black pill community, or maybe because most of you guys do indeed live in your basement and don't have a Netflix subscription and are proper doomers, you don't know about this show on Netflix, right? It's called Adolescence. So yeah, let's read out this post. Andrew Tate has over 10 million followers on X. He is hugely popular among young men. If your child is following him, you should be concerned. Like Orca, we don't need to discuss this shit anymore. Like, why are so many men following Andrew Tate to begin with? We don't need to discuss this. This has been overdone to death by guys like Rehab Rube in this community.
yeah, exactly. And listen, if your
And the fact
kid is
that
getting
people still
influenced
don't
by
understand that guys like Tate are controlled opposition is beyond me. In fact, guys who actually believe in the shit that Tate says are likely to be greater female worshippers, women worshippers. And now guys, I am completely straight. Orca is completely straight. I sometimes falter in this, by the way, when I say this, so take this with a grain of salt from me. Worshipping women and sexually and romantically liking women are two completely different things. There's levels to it. Like, even I falter sometimes. I sometimes let my emotions govern me way too much. But yeah, you just have to understand that you can't let your dignity get crushed simply because you aren't getting some poontang. You there? Dude, what the hell happened to your mic? I can't listen to you. Oh my god, this fucking phone, man. Yeah, like,
so my micro.
yeah, this is a common thing in these episodes, right? The mic roping.
Yeah, so if your so what I was saying is if your child is dumb enough to follow an internet personality and believe everything he says, then I think it's you that failed as a parent, not the other personality.
Yeah, I mean, beforehand I would have said, this is tragic and shit. It still is tragic, but to be honest, this is just Darwinism in progress, guys. Like, if you are that stupid to be, if you are that stupid to be deceived by Tate, you probably deserve it to begin with, and what are these parents going to teach their children anyways, that women are the ones going for personality and you have to be good man, bro, you have to be son, you have to be an oofy doofy and suck up to women all your life, and maybe then once a year they would suck you off.
I mean, this this football coach said something along the line.
Yeah, Southgate,
I'll
Southgate.
quote him. Yeah, Gareth, I'll quote him. He tricked young men into believing that success is about money, control, and the world, including women, is against them. Unquote. I mean, see, you first of all wouldn't let your girl marry a sub five who is also a wage slave. All right? Would you now? Of course not. So stop fucking virtue signaling. This is what people hate. This is what people with brain hate the most. Like, it's so blatantly in front of their eyes. It's so blatantly front in your and my eye that we get pissed when people like this lie about things like,
And the funny
oh,
thing is,
it's
this is also a classic example of chat splitting. Now, this guy is not facially a chat, but yeah, he in his youth he was decent looking, and 6 feet tall, and he being an athlete, he had that 99th percentile physique. So yeah, he was easily a high tier normie. This guy, if he did not have status, after Mr. Norwood Reaper knocked on his hairline, he would have been miserable. He would have been like one of those single dads. Not even like single dads, like a fucking woofy doofy. That is what would have happened. Now,
Yeah, he would have been a wage slave from
yeah. Now,
McDonald's
now let
cafe.
me let me get this straight to you guys. Success is not about money and control. That is indeed true. Success is about being desired and leaving behind children who would also be desired. That is exactly what success is in the biological definition of it, in terms of the biological definition of it, to put it the straightest way possible. Now,
You know the meme where it says that the meaning of life, according to philosopher, is all that deep stuff and all the ideas, and the meaning of life for biologists is just sex.
but let me tell you this, tell this to you guys. What is the closest knockoff experience to that? That is using money and power to leveraging money and power to get a knockoff experience of the chat experience. That is what it is, dudes. I mean, there's no other way to put this. So a lot of
So
men,
this is like imitating shared experience.
yeah, imitating the chat experience. That is the rich guy experience. So uh, men would men would go after money. Men would go after money and power so they could make up for it. You know that meme, right? Some ringmaster says that, do you want a Bugatti? And you Tate says yes, and I will work my whole life to get it. And then the ringmaster gives him the Bugatti after he works all his life, and Andrew Tate says, I've made it out of the matrix. It's something like that. Truth is, guys like Tate, if anything, they are like controlled opposition. They are the ones keeping guys in line. Alright, he blames the world's problems on strong men. According to him, men should literally walk around their homes with swords. I think I understand which clip they're talking about, and these people, dogs probably have better humor. Bro, let me tell this to you. I've seen dogs make children laugh.
I mean, like, didn't I tell you that my dog has a way better sense of humor than these?
Dogs probably have a better
Shit.
sense of humor than 90% of human beings.
Yeah, including these boomers. I
Yeah.
know which clip
Women
they are
don't think
talking
for
about.
themselves. They are just empty vessels waiting to be programmed. And you can't listen, guys. This is so misogynistic, bro. You are quoting one of his jokes out of context. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I know which joke is that. Like, it's so fucking funny that everybody knows what they are talking about just through a little context. Like he had a machete in his hand and something like that. He wasn't telling to chop off a woman. He was just making fun. 90% of his content is ironic that goes out of the context.
Alright, he and his followers sell online courses on how to become real men. These courses push. Like, let me tell this to you guys. Tate's whole shtick is you have to be a real man and you have to. Uh, and you have to look after women. That is only the only value of bro. When you had a strong hairline, when your eye wasn't fucked up from by injuries, when you were 24, 25 years old, you had three girlfriends. And I know Andrew Tate is never going to watch this. But yeah, that is the fact. Why do you think those three girlfriends fed you, clothed you, and sheltered you? Except you being 6'3" and having an overall Chad Light SMV in your prime.
He would say something like, "I showed them the masculine essence that guaranteed them safety in future."
Masculine essence. Oh my god.
He was like, "I showed the potential which they could trust on, which they could rely on, and they knew they would make their money back with
Bro, the funny
interest."
thing is, these people think that our parents, boomers and Gen X, they are well equipped to teach us anything about this. In fact, if anything, guys like Tate exist because our parents have already failed.
Yeah, because nature
Our
hates
parents did
vacuum.
not teach us. Our parents did not teach us about sexual selection, and to be honest, neither did our school sexual education. the entire scope of sexual education, this quote unquote sexual education is, oh bro, women have periods, you should respect them, periods are nothing to be scared of, periods are not, alright, we all understand that there's already a fucking chapter in our books known as human reproduction dedicated to that. Now, why the fuck do you have to include that in sex ed as well? Like, at least, and they teach shit about consent, but to be honest, they don't teach the real stuff. They don't really teach you that mild and low levels of sexual coercion are valid when it like tolerated by women when it comes to attractive men, but not.
Bro. The thing is, if they start teaching about the real stuff, then it would probably go into the territory of eugenics according to their definition.
And yeah, these
Like,
people.
what do you mean, bro? Why do you think that women only want certain type of men who are like high facially dimorphic, high testosterone, high all of that thing,
High
like tall,
symmetry,
rich?
high like proper interpupillary distances and wide jaws, bro. No way, bro. Like this is
Yeah,
classic,
this is eugenics,
dude,
bro.
dude, dude.
You're
Listen
propagating,
to me.
you're
And
propagating, you're
leftists,
propagating. You're neo-Nazi, bro. You're neo-Nazi. You're propagating eugenics. Like, bro, no. This is literally pattern recognition.
and this is hard data. And this is hard data, and these people then will be, oh, your biggest study has a sample size of 10,000. How can you say this, bro? Do you
Bro,
really think
10,000 is a fucking large sample size. Only
200
like
is
cardiology.
200 is where studies start gaining credibility? Let me tell you this.
No,
Number one,
even above 100, even above 100 is where it starts getting credibility. 200 is like gold standard. Anything above 200 is gold standard, and anything which goes up to 1,000, it's fucking like on point. It's like
it's
very
platinum.
very high one. Platinum, yeah, alright, it's platinum. Exactly.
Then you have like diamond standards with those major studies. They are not going to fund a major study on female preference. They will probably fund studies with questionable metrics such as self-report in large numbers. They will not fund. They simply are not going to fund a study that has destabilizing consequences for society.
Also, like from an investor's point of view, from the point of view of PubMed or a National Institute of Health, when they provide grants, they're much more likely to provide a grant if somebody is
And
researching
yeah,
heart health
by the
rather
way,
than the.
I am trying to get in contact with Professor Roy Baumeister. I'm genuinely looking for his socials, and he's actually one of the pioneers in this field of work when he talks about the fact that there was likely no patriarchy at any point in human history. In fact, I would actually like to talk to him about this personal mini theory of mine, and I think he's probably going to think that this guy is crazy. Of course, this is like holding up a candle to the sun. But I believe that the whole feminist movement, in essence, was probably nothing more than another one of the ploys of the upper classes to get more workers to get more workers to tax, to reduce bargaining rights. And notice, none of these movements gained any kind of traction before the Industrial Revolution occurred, before those inventions that allowed for jobs that women could work occurred, and there essentially was a chance that the upper classes could make more money out of women.
I mean, you should probably look for his contact in LinkedIn. That's the most credible way to find the professionals' contact list.
Yeah,
And
it's shocking for most parents, but it's really a fragile male ego. That is what one of these slides in this
I mean,
post
like
says.
the
Like,
fragile
bro,
male ego is
you
not
taught
so
your
much.
child that being a good person is rewarded. You taught your child that being a good man is what women look for. Women have magical personality detectors. And this, by the way, is pretty common. No parent has the ability to say that to their child's face that they're ugly. Or that most
I
and
would.
even if they did, you have to consider the fact that most of these men who are parents, they are complete oofy doofies. They grew up in an era where women had to partially depend on them.
Yeah, and in
these
third world
these Gen
societies
X
like
and
India,
boomers.
it's full dependence. In third world nations like India, it's full dependence. Also, the term fragile male ego is tossed so much. I don't even genuinely
I
know
think
that
the
what
only,
they mean.
if anything, guys, the thing men have an ego about It's not about rejection from women. Men just keep on wanting to believe that they are in control. When they're being sent to wars to do shit that will probably haunt them for their lives if they return alive, or they just straight up get shelled to death,
Yeah, that
they
that
are
is
sold that they are the ones in control. They are the ones being nationalistic, while the ones really in control are the leaders of nations. Those are the people in
no,
control.
but
You,
what
you just have to sell men that illusion of control.
I mean, just tell me what does fragile male ego means. I genuinely am lost over there.
I think this is the only place where men have an ego. Men don't really have a fragile male ego when it comes to rejection from women. In fact, there's research from Professor Ellen Burchard that suggests it was a 1985 research, by the way, that when men realize that they are lower on the attractiveness scale, like guys who are lower on the self, they get lower self-esteem, they stop approaching women who are more attractive.
Mm. I mean, I think it's just another term that they throw around without knowing the meaning. Like if you ask them what does fragile male ego means, they probably answer something like, "Oh, it's they're like they get hurt when they are rejected by women." I mean, partially it's the fault of the society because they teach them that you would. It's like return on investment, man. Like you from the childhood, you're taught that hard work pays, and for the most part, it does. Like if you work, let's say 40 hours a day, 50 hours, no, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, you will get certain compensation, monetary compensation. All right, so it's transactionable, it's traceable. Like you put certain amount of
Yeah.
hours, and you get certain. But with their like being nice to women, having good personality and all of that bullshit, it's not. It's not like linear.
In
The more
fact, in
the
fact,
nicer you
there is
are,
some research to suggest that bullies tend to have more sexual partners than women. Now, this is a very controversial take, but yeah, people who think that women do not like violent behavior from men are completely delusional. There's research paper upon research paper to suggest that criminals have more sexual partners. There's research paper now. It is indeed true that this should be adjusted for attractiveness, but I'm talking for the same looks level. Yeah, if you are an attractive man, you not being a criminal is probably decreasing your chances. And not I'm not lying to you.
I mean, just get a mugshot viral on Facebook.
Yeah, of course. If you are sub five, you committing a crime is probably going to get you called. People will call you scum of the earth. But yeah, when it comes to men, women are already attracted to. Violent behavior is actually rewardable. Like people get rewarded for bad behavior when they like violent behavior is rewarded in cases of men, where the men are already attractive. Like and
No,
also
it's like
almost always choose men, like aesthetically speaking, who have that capacity for violence. Why else do you think strong jaws, prominent noses, prominent brow ridges, thick hair, all of those things are features that are considered attractive? Strong eyebrows.
yeah. Yeah, and some copper is now gonna argue, oh bro, but DHT causes hair loss and DHT is a fucking masculine hormone. No, dude, it will make you impotent in high amounts.
And these people have no idea about the handicap principle, and then these people are going to say, oh, but women are figuring themselves over Timothy Chalamet.
Bro, like Timothy Chalamet, first of all, gets attention from 14-year-old TikTok girls, whose attention doesn't really equate to real world sexual market. Alright? Any
Yeah.
girl sexual maturity goes for men. For clean shaved men are probably going to choose men like
There's shit. Yeah, his phone roped again. Like, holy shit, it's fucking over. By the way, guys, I just got to carry this on. I got to carry this on for a moment. These parents are not going to teach anything of meaning to their children. So, what I'd like to end this with is, guys, you don't need to torture yourself listening to your parents who tell you that you have a bad personality, or teeth who tells you that you are broke. It's just that most men are not desirable. That's a hard fact to swallow. That's a very hard pill to swallow, but you would eventually get it. You would eventually make peace with it, and you would be at peace with yourself, and you would stop blaming yourself for something that was clearly out of your control. Yeah, so know your place in life and act accordingly. Well, by the way, the thing about criminals is, well, women are never going to admit to that, by the way. So don't argue with that. Don't argue with that. Uh, like, don't even try. This is a part of knowing your place in life.